a very extended business plan. So what we actually talk about, and that is what you both covered, is we talk about a business plan when we talk about what to prepare for an investor. Yeah. And my goodness. So what actually do we prepare, or what do we need to prepare for investors? That means that going down everything. So here we are. It's okay for you like this? Can you read everything?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So at the end of the we talk about a business plan. Everything what you said is part of an overall business plan. Of course, what else? But everything was right. But when you are in an early stage, let's say you are in a bootstrapping or even venture angel investor phase, the business plan is not a perfect document like this here, what is described here. Yeah. This, of course, is very important from the very beginning. And not bad, huh? And what is here very important is that a business or that an idea is for the market, that an idea is for the market a disruptive idea. Who knows what the word disruptive means? Let me say, I think it's written by an E, with an E and not an I. No, it was I. So disruptive means, and this is of course the most important thing for a startup, that something disruptive changes significantly the way of doing something. For example, you know the old mobile phones with this very, very tiny, small screen. Yeah. So, and you could telephone, and some of these old stuff already got a calendar in it, etc. And then the smartphone came, and the smartphone was really disruptive. It changed the whole way of telephone, combined now with other services within this in this component. So disruptive means really you change totally what is actually done and covered by other products. Do you have an example for a disruptive product or service?
Like Alibaba.
Yes, for example, that what we say here is in former times, you throw away your garbage out of your house, which was not needed anymore. Today, you use eBay. Yeah. So that is right, a kind of a disruptive innovation. Suddenly, every single person was able to offer a product or a service to many, many people at the same time. And this is what means disruptive. So the best you can do is you describe your business, you have a technology plan, etc. And that means this is disruptive. Yeah? That is, if you look to invest, to create a business, look into markets, and look what could change the way of doing business or product for the customers. Yeah? So the most important pieces for startups in the very early stage, bootstrapping or business angel, is of course the business. Yeah, to explain him what is the actual plan of your business, describe the venture, what is your venture you are going on, the products, of course, the mission statement, which means what is the basic of my business, where do I want to go, and the business model, which is then the following. Technology is part of, depending on where you are active. You both mentioned the financial plan. Mm-hmm. Of course, this is very important, but in the bootstrapping angel phase, you cannot predict the financial plan. So that means everything what we are talking here about is you just need a part of it. Yeah, a reduced version, because you have to be flexible. You cannot predict everything. When you are in the later stage, in a later stage of a venture capital, of course, then you should have a perfect view on your business, because you have already experience from your earlier stage. So, of course, here the sources, yes. You should have, probably, depending on what you already did in early revenues, etc., you should have an idea. You should, for example, have an idea about the pricing. Yeah. You should have an idea about the distribution, which is a very, very important part of a business plan. Where do you want to sell your product? Only by websites, in shops, wherever. That is what you should think about quite early. Yeah. So distribution, idea about pricing, and of course, the target market. Yeah. What you all mentioned. That is, of course, very important, and cash flow. An idea about What do you need in flow? For example, if you do bootstrapping, I would tell the guys who are looking to invest, I would tell them that you need this and this money, like the guys who's 500,000, and really very detailed tell them what is the money for. Not for the next 3 years, but for the next 6, 7, 8 months. This year, of course, form of ownership. Where do you want to go? Do you have a partner? Do you have not a partner? Do you want to go into a partnership? Do you want to stay alone, etc.? Yeah. Type of industry, okay. Analyze the competition, of course, because you need to define what you mentioned. You need to define the what do you say?
Advantage.
The competition. And you need to define, and this is also a very important piece, you need to define what I wrote. Where is it? What Ray said. Which problem is solved? Which problem do you want to actually solve? Yeah, which problem do you want to solve? Yeah, this is very important. Very, very detailed describing the problem. What does it mean if you identify the problem and you show these guys how do you actually solve it and what does this mean? That is very, very important for the easy look at what you want to describe, of course. Of course, is it a product or a service? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also important for the business model is what we already talked about is, do you want to buy a license? Do you want to buy a product? License is B2B, yeah, against business partners who then probably distribute or build the product for you. That is something in the mission. Where do you want to go? Or do you want to sell it by internet, by shops, etc.? And of course, one thing is, of course, do you have already all rights and licenses reserved by the authorities? So if you have an investor, he should know that your product is registered. Or when you get the bootstrapping money, you tell these guys that you, with a part of the money, your first activity is you secure your rights and registration, because that costs money. Yeah. Manufacturing, it's too early for these kind of considerations. So, check. Organization, operational operational. That is what Ray also mentioned, management team, roles. That is for later stages. Yeah? The only thing what you probably need is that you say, if I have money on board from you as bootstrapping or angel, I would need 2 resources. Yeah? One is, let's say, a kind of a secretary, whatever, support, and probably if you have a product complicated, you think you can really, you need a technician or an engineer, something like this. But of course you can't predict anything more. So an operational plan also is something for a later stage. And then you have some stuff as appendix, resumes, market statistics. Of course, if you look to your competitors, or target markets, etc., you should have documented this. If you look to the volumes, if you look to any data you can get, and most of these data today are free of charge. So this is, of course, something which can be produced also in the early stages. Yeah. Yo, that's it. Okay. So did it help to understand a bit more the bootstrapping issues and processes and varieties?
Yes. As you see, our plan is quite close. We just need a few more steps to arrive the final I can say the perfect one, the perfect answer, right?
Yes. As closer you get to with your first business experiences, market experiences, because often in your bootstrapping phase and crowdfunding phase, you already sell your product. A lot of people, they already sell something via internet. So if they go to a business angel, probably they can say, yeah, last quarter I already sold 200 units. Mm-hmm. And that also means something. Yeah, I've seen several guys having a product which was ready, yeah, mm-hmm. but most things not yet in a way of business plan, etc. But he already sold some stuff to innovators who wanted to have the latest product. Okay, so but you're right. As far you go, and then you go behind the business with the business angel, you get into a very, I think, very detailed plan with these guys that you are ready for venture capital people. Yeah. Any question? No? Any question from your coffee bar environment from these guys? No? Good. Yeah.
It's quite enjoying.
What? The bar?
She's quite enjoying about coffee.
Yeah. Liang, any question? Okay. Xiao, Jen, everything fine?
Yes, fine. So clear.
Okay. Do you miss information about bootstrapping, crowdfunding, etc., which I should come up with next time? If you find information, then you can tell me. Yeah. So I think the next session is in 2 weeks, right?
Let me check.
I think on the 19th.
Yes,
Yeah?
correct. Is that on 19th?
Yeah. Okay. Good. If you miss me, we can meet us next week for 10 minutes or something like this. Have a coffee. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Take care. And see you in 2 weeks on the 19th